Hey, toy fanatics. I'm here with I'm Tay Ray Gun. I'm here with E-Man, the master of his own universe, and he is a very specialized Batman today. Who are you?
Batman.
Yeah, he's a specialized Batman. He's not just any lame Gotham City Batman. He is a mean, barbaric Batman in a 5.5-inch format. The Batman that we're actually bringing to you today to review is the Savage World DC Primal Age Batman from Funko Toys. So pick this up and a couple of the other DC Primal Age figures. So the first one I figured I'd do is Batman, right? Because that's why we're here talking toys, right?
Yeah.
Want to tell them to get to it?
Yeah. Get to it.
All right. Alright, so with our DC Primal Age Batman from Funko Toys, we actually have our very muscular bound Batman here, much like the He-Man style figures from the days old, in that 5.5-inch stance, which I love this style as it is. It comes on a long card here, of course, with a very wide bubble to hold his ginormous stance and body inside. Unlike other card art where Masters you have the explosion of rocks coming out, this has an explosion behind it, but it's all done in a very much a comic book style with hard line drawing and then of course computer coloring in there, which is really nice. Just to let you know, that's Batman. We got DC logo here and Funko over there. And I love how they've dealt with the DC Primal Age here with the axes and the swords, and just very cool vibe about it. Now, if we go to the back of the card, of course, you're going to see cross-sell art for other figures in the line. Unlike having cross-sell art where you have pictures of the figurines themselves, instead you have drawings of the characters, but done, of course, in the Primal Age style. You have Batman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Scarecrow, Wonder Woman, Mr. Freeze, King Shark, and the Joker. Get the glare off there so you can see them all together. Pretty cool. And of course we'll be doing this review is on Batman, but we'll also be looking at Green Lantern at one point and the Joker as well. DC and Warner Brothers obviously have their licensing on this with Funko, so that's a pretty cool look at the cross-sell art. Now if you go back to here, we kind of want to compare this with other cards that we have. So comparing it with another one of Funko's toys, the Thundercats card here. Same size, same slender build, very much in the style of the old school He-Man. And thinking of the old school He-Man, of course the Super 7 Masters of the Universe, the TV version. So that way we can see that yes, this is really meant to be in that same vein. And then just one more, this time we'll go with Mattel, because Mattel was the original creator of He-Man. And of course, they're coming back with a new series, which is, you know, He-Man Origins, but the Masters of the WWE Universe is very similar to what they're doing with Origins. So we can kind of see the same style of card art. Of course, this is the package, but the package doesn't really tell us anything about the toy. So let's dig in and find out what we got. Okay, and so now that we've got Batman out of the package, this is what we have. I mean, such a cool Batman. I love the barbaric look of him, the blue against the gray, you know, just screams this old school Batman. And, you know, I have the castle and I had him with the castle, and when I review the castle, I'll show him with it. He goes perfectly. It's a really, really cool figurine. So, all in all, it comes with 3 accessories, one of which is actually this sword. And I'd like to look at the sword first, because all in all, that sword is a beautiful design. I love how it's a nice gold and very shiny looking sword, but it's got these blue wrap details down here and a nice bat emblem built into it. It is a bit of a short sword, so it does have some cuts in there that make it like it's battle worn, which is actually really nice. Now, at first putting it in his hand, it didn't necessarily want to fit, so you kind of have to force it in, and I'm wondering, much like with Mumroth, I'm going to have to find a way to heat those hands and expand them out, because the sword doesn't necessarily fit in that hand very well. Now, after the sword, let's go ahead and let's take a look at his shield. Again, much like the sword, that nice shiny gold color there, and it's very vibrant. That's held on by basically a small clip. Now, this does seem a little hard. It's not as pliable as some of the Mattel clips are, so I am afraid of this breaking often. So this is not one I like to put on, take off, put on, take off that much. So it's actually one I don't really like playing with because I'm afraid it's gonna break. But I love the detail in here. The bat emblem is super cool, of course, with the folds of the wings and then all the battle damage, and even the fact this is bumpy like hammered metal. It's such a cool accessory. I really, really dig it. I'm gonna put that one here. Let's take the sword. We're gonna put it off to the side as well. Now I also want to look at that cape. Now the cape is a pliable plastic. It does kind of move, and it's a one-side mold, so it's sculpted on one side, and the other side is kind of an opposite molding of it. But it's a nice design. It's blue and it mimics fur, and I like how it sets off almost to one side, so when it's on him, it looks like it's blowing away. Comes down to the classic points here for Batman's cape. It is a great cape. I love it, and I think it works really well. Now, the Batman figure itself. Now, if you remember with Mum-Ra, with my Mum-Ra that I had a problem with the legs. So let's take a look at the Mum-Ra. Now, my Mum-Ra, because of the leg fix, he doesn't stand quite as nice as the Batman. But same system, so using that pin and ball that kind of sits down, so it's like a ball jointing, okay? This has the same thing. Now, what I was hoping with Batman is I wouldn't have this, because I really didn't want that again with my Batman. I'd be really upset. Instead, what I got was this. His head is very loose, and some of the things I noticed is that if you look here, the plastic, it's almost like the plastic didn't fill in completely, so this is a little loose. Now, the head does pop on off, and for customizers, if you want to tackle it, pretty much all the posts for these characters are dealt with like this, okay? The arms I couldn't get off like the Mum-Ra, so I'm not really pushing them to come off, but he has swivel head articulation. So swivel head, swivel arms. He has a swivel waist, and this one's nice and tight. I actually loosened the arms and the waist up just a little bit. And then he has the ball jointed legs. Oh, ball jointed legs. Oh, now granted, my post didn't break off, so unlike Mum-Ra, I'm happy in that it's not a complete disaster with this falling off. But again, much like the head, there seems to be like some empty pores in the plastic, which kind of bothers me, and I'm wondering if that's why this is just kind of not as tight as it should be. But luckily, it goes back in. Put the cape on him, get a shield on, put a sword in his hand. There we go. And we got ourselves a barbarian Batman going out for battle. That's the review of our DC Primal Age Batman. Of course, we have Primal Age Batman right here. So all in all, I think he's a fun figure. Do you like him? Some of my concerns again came down to quality control with the head popping off, the two legs not wanting to stay in a place, and that gap of plastic it seemed to be missing within those parts. But I think he's a great figure for me personally, because I am a Batman fan and I do love DC. Is that I really like having these because, you know, we finally have a Batman in a Motu style, and it's cool because at 5.5 inch, you know, collection, it's just I think it fires on all cylinders. I love the weapons. There's a few areas where I'm concerned about like the stiffness of the clip, but all in all, I really dig him. Do you like this guy?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Let me see. This cape coming off.
Yeah, I do like the fact that the cape comes off, and that'll make play for these. So if you get one that's actually, you know, a little more playful for kids, that'll make it easy for them to kind of customize and move things around on their their toys, which I think is awesome. Which probably tells me it's that Superman and some of the others that have capes are probably the same. Now we have another one on the way. Of course, we have a Joker, and then we have a Green Lantern. So I can't wait to review those to see how they're going to be. Okay, so all in all, for rating, yeah.
I hope you get a Wonder Woman.
Oh, that would be cool. I have been eyeing one on Amazon. And of course, I'll put an Amazon link for this guy
And
down in the show notes.
A Aquaman and a shark one and the others.
King Shark?
Yeah.
He would be cool. You know what? Maybe we'll end up getting a bunch of them. You know, I only have so much space though, so I have to keep that in mind. Yeah. Well, so out of a rating system of 5 stars, here comes our rating system. Out of 5 stars, how many stars would you give this guy?
4.
Only 4? Why only 4 stars?
Because you did 3.
I haven't done any stars yet. I mean, for Mumra, I did 3 stars because he was broken, but how many stars would you give this guy?
3.
3 stars? Okay.
Because it's broken.
Well, I mean, the sad thing is because of those joints, and this seems to be a common theme with Funko, which kind of bothers me because it takes it out of the realm of being a kid's toy, and it makes it a little more on the end of, if you throw this, there could be some actual damage to it. So for me, because I do like Batman, I love the sculpt, and so far he's been fixable on what he has, I'm going to go with 4 stars. And the reason why I'm going with 4 stars is I love the fact that his cape, shield, and sword seem appropriate to him. They fit in his hand a little bit better. And the cape actually comes off. So like Mumrot was attached to him, this one it actually comes off. And the fact that his pegs aren't broken. So he seems to be, you know, pretty bulky and slammable, I guess. So I'm going to give him 4 out of 5. Does that work?
Yeah.
All right, well, and again, that's why I'm here talking toys. So in the end, still kind of on the fence about if these are meant for kids or not, as a kind of a play toy. But for collectors, they are actually pretty good. I dig them a lot. And yeah, I think he's well worth it. So do you want to lead us out? I can say something like, that's why I'm here talking toys. And remember, they're not dolls.
Yeah. They're toys.
You're killing me, Smalls. Hey, remember, they're not dolls, they're
action figures. And then
If you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. Also go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll have more of these toy videos coming to you soon. This episode of Tay Ray Gun was sponsored by Marvin Dog Media. To learn more about Marvin Dog Media, visit www.marvindogmedia.com.